Delhi is a land steeped in history, where the echoes of ancient civilizations still resonate with hidden treasures and delicate whispers of a glorious past. But as time marches on, a silent struggle unfolds. Heritage sites, once adorned with grandeur, now stand in desperate need of a helping hand, clinging to the brink of oblivion. Some of the heritage sites have nearly vanished, while others languish in neglect and forlorn state. Take for instance the Lal Mahal in India's national capital. In the impoverished Nizamuddin Basti area of Delhi, the 13th century historical gem Lal Mahal is almost lost and remains invisible to most passers-by. Over the course of centuries, the Lal Mahal has fallen into disrepair, and sadly, many people are unaware of its existence as it has gradually faded into obscurity.
Lal Mahal you talked about, that's a 2007, 2008, it got demolished. It was listed in the list of 174 monuments of ASI, but ASI didn't even know where it was, whether it existed or not. And when you go there, even the local people don't know where Lal Mahal is. So if you only talk about ASI protected monuments that are in distress, there could be dozens, because there are only 174 ASI protected monuments that are in distress. But when you talk about monuments or talk about heritage, when you talk about architectural heritage, I think you're missing the point. There are hundreds, thousands perhaps, which are not even recognized. And because they're not recognized, they're on the verge of extinction. So whose problem is that? Yours, mine, ASI's, governments, societies, whose? So the issue is not one monument going, two monuments going, even 100 monuments going. It's the whole idea of heritage vanishing. In the current scene in India, heritage does not matter. And if heritage does not matter, why are you and I talking? In general, in India today, the way we are going, heritage does not matter. Only the very, very, very important iconic monuments matter. Those are exceptions. Whereas I say that heritage is very much a part of our civilization, very much a part of our lives, but it does not appear to be, as far as policy is concerned or our actions are concerned.
Our team visited the Shamsi Talab in the Mehroli area of Delhi. Over the years, the lake has shrunk significantly. The place is littered with garbage, and the once beautiful lake is now laced with algae, and sewage water seeps into it through various breaches.
पहले देखिए पाक साफ जगह था, यह जगह पूरा इसमें नहाते थे लोग, काफ़ी लोग नहाते थे, हर जगह के लोग, हम लोग खुद नहाते थे, मगर अब यह थोड़ा सा नाली के पानी से गंदगी हो गया, इससे ना नहाते हैं.
This is not the condition of heritage sites in Delhi alone, but the weight of neglect has taken its toll. From crumbling forts to decaying palaces, these architectural wonders cry out for preservation and protection.
In 2013, we tried to make Delhi, Old Delhi, the Shahjahanabad, a World Heritage City. It is indeed a World Heritage City. Not individual buildings, not individual monuments, but then not only the Red Fort, not only this one or two monuments like that, but the entire city is a World Heritage Site. We nominated to UNESCO. But the government comes and withdraws that nomination. So they don't consider it a heritage at all. So what you talk about a small pimple over one building here, one building there, one haveli there, one haveli there. What's the problem? They're all going. They're all going because we don't understand what the concept of heritage and its relationship to modern India is. As far as modernity is concerned, heritage must vanish. It's only when heritage vanishes that we'll become a modern nation. That seems to be the idea. So it is not a question of neglect of monuments, it's the whole idea that we have neglected heritage as a whole, as an idea. As a modern nation, we don't know how to deal with our past.
This is the pathetic condition of the tomb of Delhi Sultanate's first and only woman ruler, Razia Sultan. Located near the Turkmen Gate in Chandni Chowk, Razia Sultan's tomb is cloaked in dust and dirt. Comprising only 4 walls without roofs, housing 2 graves at its heart of Razia Sultan and her sister, the tomb bears the marks of time's harsh passage.
Let me tell you one thing, as far as Razia Sultan is concerned, she was in fact, the first woman ruler of Delhi. There are two tombs. In fact, one belongs to Razia Sultan, and the other one belongs to her younger sister. Right? They were buried here. But once again, we people like us lament that it is also lying in dirt and filth. Nobody is concerned. Nobody is concerned about it.
Amidst the majestic beauty of India's heritage sites lies an unsettling reality: the menace of illegal constructions. As we strive to preserve the past, the encroachment of modern structures poses yet another significant threat.
Illegal construction by the side of the monuments. That too had destroyed the environment of the monument. That's why government has brought a rule, 100 meter, 203 meters. In many areas, we don't allow any construction at the 3 meter. In certain cases, we have given permission also. For example, the underground railways, metros, railway station, and so on. So the question is a thorough policy with the support of the people and experts. It requires to make a policy after 10 years every time, because in 10 years, everything changes.
The once unobstructed views of these treasured sites are now obscured by the shadows of illegal structures. Though authorities have been trying to dismantle such illegal constructions, the work becomes more challenging as newer structures emerge. Often, conservationists and builders find themselves at odds. For them, it is a fight between tradition and modernity, of progress and preservation. We spoke to the director of the Archaeological Survey of India, who said that conservation must be seen as a joint effort. The onus cannot just be put on the ASI alone.
Recently, you must have heard about the removal of encroachment from Tughlaqabad Fort.
Yes.
So Tughlaqabad Fort, why that encroachment happened? Because ASI does not have any kind of police power. We can lodge a complaint with the police and local authorities and local administration and civic agencies. If in Tughlaqabad Fort there is only one entrance, if we control it, we cannot will not allow enter any kind of construction material inside the fort. How the houses they can be constructed? The conservation of protected monuments is a challenging work and is a expertise work. Anybody cannot do it, and ASI we are doing it since long. But we need awareness among the masses. Those are living around the monuments, they should not damage it. If there is a law for the construction, a provision of the construction around the monument, everybody has to obey it. We need help of the civic agencies also. Like in Delhi, we can say the Municipal Corporation of Delhi or NDMC or Delhi Development Authority to control the unauthorized construction around the monument. We need help of the police also. Otherwise, it's very difficult to maintain our heritage.
The historical 14th century Firosakotla Fort is grappling with decay and erosion. Today, some sections of the walls show signs of crumbling. Visitors complain that specific areas of the fort remain inaccessible to the public for viewing.
Well, the current status of Firosakotla is that it is a protected monument. And it has been a protected monument for quite a while. Many years ago, I don't think it was originally a ticketed monument, but it is now a ticketed monument. So to gain entry, you have to buy a ticket. There is a ticket window outside. You buy the ticket and you go in. If you are talking about what issues do I have with the monument, these are issues that I have with quite a lot of monuments protected by the Archaeological Survey of India. My issue is with the Archaeological Survey of India and the way they protect the monument is That large parts have been barricaded. Large parts are blocked, and those wishing to explore the monument, they have no access to that area. For some strange reason, they stopped access to the top of the monument, which is where the Ashokan pillar is installed. And why access was denied, I do not know. I have made some inquiries and I was told that people fall off and all that.
During our visit to this fort, we were informed that significant portions of the site were off limits to the public due to certain superstitions and beliefs surrounding ghosts and jinns. Various rumors and gossip regarding these matters were circulating among people, which were being cited as a cause for restrictions on access and exploration.
I have been going to the Kotla Firosakotla from the time when I was a child. This was a place where the people from the city went regularly. It has large open lawns, grounds, etc., etc. And this was a place which was alive with people. People used to go there, families used to go there, and they used to have picnics and all that. It was virtually a living monument. To the best of my knowledge, I did not see anybody falling. If there are people who are bent upon committing suicide, nobody can stop them. They will find some place or the other. There is a phenomenal step well inside the complex. It is perpetually locked. Why is it locked? I asked. So I was told somebody had fallen in it. And there are all kinds of stories. There are fairies here, there are ghosts here, there are jinns here. Now, in the 21st century, no sane state can have decisions that are motivated, that are triggered by people's superstitions. This stunning step well, which is the largest step well in the city, you deny access instead of appointing more security guards, regulating movement inside.
In the realm of heritage conservation in India, a contentious battle unfolds between history and mythology, leaving our cultural legacy at the mercy of conflicting narratives. As we seek to preserve our past, we find ourselves entangled in the clutches of this crossfire.
We have declared the Purana Kila as the Indraprastha. We have excavated there 5 times or 4 times. Every time we reach the same conclusion, that from the time of Ashoka, the Mauryan period, which is 3rd century before the Common Era, till the 18th century, this place was constantly settled. But we have found evidence of small huts, small houses, built with sun-dried bricks. But we haven't found a single palace. The problem we have related to heritage, that is the essential problem. What is mythology and what is history? Mythology will not leave any evidence on the ground. Mythology is mythology. To reduce mythology to historical events opens the next question, that mythology has to then subject itself to the discipline of history. For a large number of people, heritage conservation is not an issue. For a large percentage of this country's population, we don't relate to this heritage. We don't think this is our heritage. And this is because for the last 200 years or so, we have constantly been told that these buildings have been built by invaders, that this is not our heritage. We have been told that our heritage is 5,000 years old. Everything that has happened in the last 1,000 years is not ours.
We were not allowed to get closer to the Shesha Suri gate, also known as the Lal Darwaza. The 16th century gate served as a strategic entry point to Delhi. However, like many other heritage sites, this one too was ill-maintained and has not been completely restored.
As per the policy and adopted by the ASI and certain norms of the conservation, we preserve and conserve the monuments as per their requirements. And in case of Motighat of Shesha, it is some damages were observed and cracks were observed. First, we have put up a wall, a supporting wall for the structure, and now the conservation work has been taken up. Because as per the policy, we cannot reconstruct or we cannot construct a new one, a new gate with the material until or unless it is required for the stability of the monument. Whatever we have received from the past, we have to protect it for the future as it is. Until or unless it is not a threat to the monument. If it is a threat to the monument or it is required, it is mandatory to give stability to the structure, then only we go for the reconstruction or construction. Otherwise, we do only conservation of the existing structure.
Heritage conservation in India demands a joint effort, but such unity is often lacking. The burden falls heavily on government bodies like the ASI, with limited collaboration from communities and citizens. Without collective commitment, our priceless heritage is at risk of being lost forever.
If it is a monument that is protected by the government, then of course the ownership and the management of the site belongs to the government. No private individual or private party can actually do anything in that respect, right? So my jurisdiction literally ends at the boundary. So if something is happening inside, let's say Safdarjung's tomb or Humayun's tomb, as a citizen, I can't really do anything about it because I am a regular citizen and the property belongs to the government, right? But then, which brings me to the second part of the heritage that I talked about, which is city level heritage, which belongs to all of us, right? So whether it is the places in Chandni Chowk or some streetscape or some other buildings which are of value to us as a community, that is where citizens can make a difference. They can, do something about that kind of heritage. That is everybody's heritage, or that is municipal level heritage, or that is heritage in hands of trusts or private citizens and things like that, right? So the role regular people can play is humongous, but that's really in spaces where they have a say or they can exercise a right.
In India today, only a handful of well-preserved heritage sites stand as a beacon of hope, but they are a stark contrast to the thousands of others left to wither away in neglect. The once majestic structures are now reduced to mere shadows of their former glory. Struggling against bureaucratic hurdles and insufficient funding, the battle for heritage conservation seems uphill.
We've got to understand, how do we want to make an ancient country a modern country? How do we want to do it? Do you want to do it by making smart cities, digitally, high-tech cities? Is that the way to be modern? Or, as we argue, no, tradition can be modernized. Tradition can be made to serve people and give you all the advantages of modernity. Now that requires change in education, change in laws, change in attitudes, change in policies, etc., etc. How does an ancient civilization become modern? One answer that the politicians are giving us now is, get rid of everything. Go back to the pure Hindu past. And we will become a modern nation. I'm saying, no, that's not right. That means you're neglecting a lot of heritage.